Welcome to your Cohesion Classroom. In this lesson, we will take a look at subtracting whole numbers. At the end of this video, you will have access to our tips and takeaways, allowing you to focus on the content being presented. You can always access any of our tips and takeaways from the lesson page before or after watching the lesson. In this lesson, students will subtract whole numbers into the hundred thousands. Students will apply their knowledge of place value to subtract numbers and regroup when necessary. Let's take a look at an example of how to subtract whole numbers. The problem asks us to find the difference, 561,364 minus 90,182. The first step is to line up the digits vertically by place value. When subtracting, always begin in the ones column. 4 minus 2 equals 2. So the 2 will be placed below. Subtract the tens column. 6 minus 8 is not possible, as I can never take a larger number away from a smaller number. I must regroup to subtract the tens. 3 hundreds and 6 tens equals 2 hundreds and 16 tens. I'm simply taking one of my 300s and representing it as 10 tens to go with the 6 already there to make 16. Now subtract 16 minus 8 equals 8. Now subtract the hundreds column. The 3 is crossed out as I have regrouped. Students should pay attention to the 2 above it, as this is how many hundreds there are now. 2 minus 1 equals 1. Moving into the thousands column, 1 minus 0 equals 1. I will need to regroup in the 10,000s column. 500 thousands and 6 10,000s equals 400 thousands and 16 10,000s. Again, we are simply taking one of our 500 thousands and representing it as 10 10,000s. Now subtract 16 minus 9 equals 7. Finally, the 100,000s column has a 4 in the top number, but nothing in the bottom number. When there is no digit, it is the same as if there were a 0 written in its place. Remember, the 5 is crossed out, and the 4 is now how many hundred thousands there are. So 4 minus 0 equals 4. So 561,364 minus 90,182 equals 471,182. Subtraction problems will also be presented in the form of a word problem. Using a bar model can help a student to see how the information in a problem is related. Let's look at an example where drawing a bar model would be helpful in a subtraction word problem. The problem says there are 82,943 fish on a reef when a shark swims in. 31,692 fish are chased away. How many fish are left on the reef? Let's draw a bar to represent 82,943. This represents the number of fish in the reef. Since the question asks how many fish are left on the reef, that means to subtract, and that 82,943 will be the largest number for the problem. Draw a smaller box below the first to show part of the whole, 31,692. This represents the fish that are chased away. Draw a bracket that represents the missing value. In this case, the number of fish left on the reef. Students will need to subtract 31,692 from 82,943 to find out how many fish are left on the reef. The first step is to line up the digits vertically by place value. When subtracting, always begin in the ones column. 3 minus 2 equals 1, so the 1 will be placed below the line under 2. Now subtract the tens column. 4 minus 9. Students must regroup to subtract the tens. 9 hundreds and 4 tens equals 8 hundreds and 14 tens. So we regroup 100 to 10 tens. Now subtract. 14 minus 9 equals 5. Now let's subtract the hundreds column. The 9 is crossed out as I have regrouped. Students should pay attention to the 8 above it, as this is how many hundreds there are now. 8 minus 6 equals 2. Moving into the thousands column, 2 minus 1 equals 1. In the 10,000s column, 8 minus 3 equals 5. So 82,943 minus 31,692 equals 51,251. The difference is the answer to our word problem. 51,251 fish are left on the reef. The most difficult situation for students when using this method is when they have to regroup across a place value, like in this example. As we've established, 5 cannot be subtracted from 4, so we must regroup. Only there's 0 in the tens place. So what do we regroup from? The next highest place value, which in this case is the hundreds. This next process can be very difficult for students to grasp, especially when they fail to recognize place value and just see these digits as a 3, a 0, and a 4. So since we can't regroup from nothing, we must move on to the hundreds place, where we have 3 hundreds. We regroup one of these hundreds to the tens place, leaving us now with 2 hundreds and 10 tens, because 100 equals 10 tens. Can we regroup from 10? Yes. We take 1 10, leaving us with 9 tens, and regrouping it as 10 ones to go with the 4 ones we already have. So now we have 14 ones minus 5 ones, which equals 9. 9 minus 2 equals 7. 2 minus 2 equals 0. 8 minus 4 equals 4. And 3 minus 2 equals 1. So 38,304 minus 24,225 equals 14,079. An important difference from addition to subtraction to keep in mind is that when you regroup an addition, you're increasing the value of the digit to the left because you're adding to it. When you subtract, you are decreasing the value of the larger place value and increasing by 10 the smaller place value because you're regrouping. Students make errors when subtracting that could be a quick fix by checking over their work. To check their work, students should add the two smaller numbers together in a subtraction problem. This sum should be the total number they began with. If not, a calculation error was made somewhere. Students are sometimes asked to estimate sums and differences before finding the actual answer. This is helpful when determining whether the answer is reasonable or not. Refer to the lesson on rounding numbers for more help with this topic. The bar model is handy as you can use it for addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Students will see this bar model again when they begin with solving multiplication comparison problems. To gain a full understanding of this concept, visit the lesson page to view the rest of the place value, addition, and subtraction set of lessons. Uniting students and families in learning, we are Cohesion Education. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.